Bula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, Australian military aircraft makes emergency landing at Nadi Airport. Fiji soldiers make final preparations for deployment to the Golan Heights. And bus fire in the middle of a busy Suva street. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spade and you're watching FBC News. An Australian military aircraft made an emergency landing at Nadi International Airport this morning after one of its engines malfunctioned. 17 crew members are now staying in Nadi, waiting for the arrival of a new engine in a couple of days. Airports Fiji Limited has confirmed the Lockheed AP-3C Orient aircraft had an engine failure and was forced to divert to Nadi at around 11 this morning. It was en route to a military base in Adelaide from Faleolo Airport in Samoa. The flight crew dumped most of the aircraft's fuel before making the emergency landing at Nadi. The Royal Australian Air Force uses the aircraft for naval fleet support, maritime surveillance, search and survivor supply, as well as anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare. 170 soldiers will leave for the Golan Heights on a chartered UN flight this Wednesday. The confirmation came from the Prime Minister Vorengem Bainimarama while addressing the troops at a church service this afternoon. Wasita Kotewasawasa reports.
The Prime Minister emphasized the need for soldiers to be well prepared. While there have been reports of other troops withdrawing from the Golan Heights due to the worsening crisis within Syria, the message from the military leader was clear.
Kerto na wakasuka man Philippines, using mga bakatakan na nabirtek talamay weekendo na kere-kere man ito na bisumtekika. Bensalo recho ko, sama tatat sa gobyerno ng United Nations Department of Peacekeeping na karon tubay teken.
Bainimarama went on to say that peacekeeping for soldiers is nothing new, as many have served in various other countries overseas. He adds that countries are pulling out because of the ongoing war within Syria and its repercussions.
Ito na tuloy wala ko na mandate ni Lakoy Lepuno ni Mexico na Section 6 na Chapter 6 na Chapter 7. Chapter 6 na kani peacekeeping, na Chapter 7 na kani bibono-bonay. Metuno ko Chico Lumundon na Chico Lepuno ni 6.5. May lang ko sing class 6.5 to 12 and 10. Dala ko matakadangani. Dala su matakadmay.
The soldiers were farewelled at the Reverend Tuvasu Hall at Ndalenabua this afternoon. Wasita Kotiwasawasa, FBC News.
Rawanga Buses is again at the center of attention after another one of its buses caught fire around midday today. This time the blaze happened in the middle of busy Suva. Edwin Nant was at the scene.
This was the scene at the height of the fire. Footage provided to us by bystanders at the Suva bus stand. This is what was left afterwards.
What can I say? The good part about it, I think there were passengers at the back. They managed to escape and request the drivers, and one got injured. We will conduct investigations to find out what caused the fire and so forth.
There were 5 people on board and all managed to escape. Some jumped out windows while others rushed down the steps. The fire happened at around midday on a busy street opposite the Suva bus stand. Firefighters were quick to the scene, but the extent of the blaze meant little could be saved.
This isn't the first time that a bus has caught on fire in the middle of the road, and this is actually not the first time that a bus from the fleet of Rewanga buses has caught fire. The last time it happened, as many as 10 lives were lost.
A large crowd gathered around the bus watching the fire, oblivious to the risk to their lives. Traffic was also held up for over an hour.
So we'll conduct our investigation, and I know LTA will conduct their own investigations, and hopefully we can learn from this incident and make sure that it's not repeated in the future and improve safety to the members of the community. That will be the main target.
The bus is tonight impounded at LTA in Levuka, and investigations are underway by the National Fire Authority, police and the LTA. Edwin Nand, FBC News.
Owners of Rewanga buses didn't respond to messages left in their office when this bulletin was prepared. Air Pacific has placed an immediate ban on carrying shark-related products that come from unsustainable and unverified sources. The national airline made this decision based on a month-long review of its freight policies after it learned they had carried shark fin. Air Pacific's acting CEO Aubrey Swift says they have always understood that it is an important, sensitive matter and they recognize and accept responsibility for conservation issues. He says their findings have revealed that Fijian licensed vessels have documented standards to effectively manage shark-related products, but he pointed out the situation is not clear for unlicensed or foreign vessels. And Christopher now joins us live from the West. Chris, does this mean Air Pacific will not carry any shark-related products?
The ban is only for products from unsustainable sources, meaning they will continue to carry shipments of shark fins and other shark-related items, but are sustainably sourced where individual shark species are not threatened. And they are working with conservation partners and the fishing industry to prepare and implement policies that will ensure all future shipments are from sustainable sources. Jackie, don't forget, Air Pacific is changing back to its 1960s name, Fiji Airways, from Thursday.
Already noted that in my diary. Thanks for that, Chris. Fiji's leadership in the Pacific region has been hailed by other Pacific leaders. A number of key issues have been solved since Prime Minister Vorengen Bainimarama took over the chairmanship of the MSG. But as Roland Karoy reports, Fiji has had influence going beyond the Melanesian Spearhead Group.
At the recent Melanesian Spearhead Group's Leaders Summit in New Caledonia, Pacific leaders had nothing but praise for Fiji's leadership. Solomon Islands Prime Minister Gordon Darcy Lilo says Bainimarama's stand not to succumb to pressure from New Zealand and Australia is exemplary.
Especially, our immediate OECD member countries in the region, Australia and New Zealand, have heard about the region, but he has actually lifted to a new height and then has get the engagement more fairly, focusing on issues that are more relevant to the region.
Lilo goes on to say that every country knows what's best for their people, praising Fiji's steps towards parliamentary elections.
I really congratulate Prime Minister Bainimarama for making the constitutional development to this far, and also to stay the course and to stick to the commitment.
And even the man known in the Pacific as the Grand Chief had his bit to say about Fiji.
Fiji had all of us when we were still floating around, not knowing where to start. We get a show in our own show. Fiji showed us the way at the time.
Delegates that FBC News spoke to at the Leaders Summit in New Caledonia have all praised Fiji's leadership, saying they look forward to even more interaction with a country that's fast proving itself as the hub of the Pacific, especially in terms of trades of goods and services. Roland Karoy, FBC News.
In the news ahead, President is St. John's Association patron.
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also, later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Ni sambulo binaka oya wone kamanalangi oni nandorungo diao mai na diwa kina rua na bisinga mai na moniti kina bagarumbu kana Radio Fiji wana ndome biti bongani bianyano nama katalengana bengo na sasibiani na tinna kaloko na bembongi ni bukilulu kena bima mani walu na bembongi ni bakaruwai mai na mbuza ni balu ninge namaka.
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. A bus driver alleged to have abducted a 16-year-old student last Friday has been remanded in custody. 29-year-old Rajesh Nand, seen here in black, drives for Townover buses. He is charged with 1 count of abduction and appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court this afternoon. No plea was taken. Nand is expected to reappear in court on Friday. President Ratuepeli Nailatikau has been officially welcomed as the patron of St. John's Association. Ratuepeli, who has served the association for the past 50 years, has accepted this role following the passing of the former Tuivunda and president, the late Ratu Sir Josefa Iloilo Vatu. Ritika Pratap reports.
The president pointed out that things haven't been easy for St. John, having made some changes internally. St. John has a new motto now, making the difference the first to care.
The association has made a huge turnaround with the administration and management of its affairs, including both in human and in financial resources. Through prudent, accountable, and transparent management.
The St. John's Association has re-established its links with the international community, including the World Head Office in London and the St. John's Association in New Zealand.
I have little doubt that our international partners will be focusing greater attention towards the St. John Association of Fiji. This can only augur well for the country as a whole.
The president says the government through the Ministry of Health is making every effort to reach out to the community.
They are, in this regard, key stakeholders in the grand scheme of things. They are invaluable extension of government's national effort to provide essential medical and life-saving services to the people of Fiji.
The president has assured that he will continue to support and lobby the association's community-oriented programs. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
The Levuka business community is requesting the government to put more emphasis on the town. Levuka was declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO yesterday, and locals say the town economy will boom only if infrastructure and services are good. Shireen Lata reports.
Levuka Chamber of Commerce President Ishrar Ali believes there's more to be done to attract visitors and investors to Fiji's old capital city.
We only have one flight. Anybody who's coming over by plane will just have to do a day trip. Come in the morning, go back in the afternoon. We have got a very good ferry service, but the main thing is that they will be also looking forward to get more visitors from overseas.
Some projects have already begun. The Provincial Council and the World Wildlife Fund for Nature are working together with the local community in protecting natural resources.
If this gets through, Ovala will have good natural park, marine resource, and together this will support the heritage of the town and allow the tourists added value. When visiting the town, we can direct them out to these areas.
The special administrator is calling on the people of Levuka to take ownership of their town. At the moment, locals going for family visits and school excursions top the visitor arrival list. Hopes are to attract those who live overseas.
The bigger chunk of tourists that are coming in are the locals who are either revisiting for family or school reunions. With the heritage, it will attract a special group who are also interested in tracing the whereabouts of their ancestors, or those who are just interested in the local history of the place.
The town is already geared for celebrations to mark this grand announcement. However, they are awaiting word from the government. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Despite some fears, there is no dengue fever epidemic in the country. Akosita Tale reports.
There have been some concerns raised by the public of the increase in dengue fever. However, the Health Ministry says there is no outbreak, thanks to the effective awareness campaigns held around the country.
There's been some cases from there, quite a number of cases, and that came down in April. That came down in April and has been down ever since, not only in the north but nationally.
Health inspectors and officials have been training leaders in different communities to clear mosquito breeding places. This has contributed to the control of dengue fever.
As an immediate way to audit it is that when there's an outbreak, when there's an increase in numbers, they respond, it comes down. So, that's subjective enough.
An increase in numbers of dengue fever cases was reported in the north from January to March, but the Health Ministry says it was more urbanized.
the small towns, you'll see them there, and it all fits in to the big puzzle because you need the containers and all these kind of things in order for it to breed the breeding areas for this disease, and it's always around the house.
People have been urged to have proper sanitation and a healthy environment to reduce the chances of getting dengue fever. Aku si Tatale, FBC News.
That time again, we join Jamie now for all the latest in sports.
Good evening. Coming up in sports tonight, our two sevens teams flew off to Moscow this morning. We catch up with coaches Alibreti Ndere and Timothy Weningolo after the break. And Nandi plan major celebrations after a well-deserved fact win. This and more coming up.
Bola, oya wasala bilawa. Do pata ke yau mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina varomboka. Kako ni valatana no musini sari na kai samarian dolo loma leone vani ni nau omgori ke de mena diwa kina tini karona kaloko na single boni moniti kina varomboka en Bula FM number 2 en sere.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वही आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Welcome back to FBC Sports. First up tonight, our sevens side left for Russia this morning on a mission to restore lost glory to Fijian sevens. After a dismal performance in the 2009 World Cup, this year we're pooled with current world champions Wales, making a top 8 finish even more daunting. And for coach Alibreti Ndere, who has copped a lot of criticism recently, he's now calling on fans to put the past behind them and support our side as they take the World Cup one game at a time. Shelvin Chand has more.
For coach Alibreti Ndere, the concentration now is making past the three teams in their pool.
It's a tough pool, and that's what is our aim in preparing for the last 3 weeks for the first game, and we are focusing on that.
The coach believes he has the players needed for Fiji, but such was the case in 2009 when Fiji was lined with Europe-based players.
Got experienced players with our local boys that have the mix. We can get on and take on the atmosphere in the World Cup.
The Fiji Sevens team's work is cut out for them, and they will get into the thick of things soon as they land in Russia.
We'll arrive on Tuesday, then we have a rest day before we go into on Wednesday for our one training session. And the captains run on Thursday before we coming on to the first game on Friday.
Any message for the fans?
So for the fan, I think what we have gone through the past weeks, I think we'll leave that behind and we'll support this team for the coming week.
The national side is grouped in Pool E with Tonga, Uruguay and Wales. They play the Etwatewanga coach Tonga in their first match at 12:28 early Saturday morning. Shelvin Chand, FBC Sports.
The Fijiana women's rugby team also left for Russia this morning on their maiden trip to the Sevens World Cup. This is also a first for coach Timothy Weningolo, who has never coached the women's rugby team before. Shelvin Chand reports.
Despite the laughter and smiles during the send-off to Russia this morning, the Fijiana team knows the importance of this trip.
It's a big challenge for me and the girls, and this is the first time for the World Cup. But for the girls, we have to work hard, and then we can achieve our goal.
Unlike their male counterparts, Fijiana is not considered to be a front-runner for the Cup. Despite this, they are looking to make the World Cup quarters.
I think what they have to do is just believe themselves and enjoy when they are playing rugby. And we know that those teams are playing more than us. But we will give our best to play those teams, and we need to achieve our goal. That's all we will be there in the World Cup.
The presence of Prime Minister Vorengembeni Marama at the World Cup could prove to be a motivating factor.
Yeah, it is. Because we announced that we can give a jersey for us. It's a boost for the girls and the women, which we play in the World Cup next week.
Fijiana find themselves in Pool C of the Rugby World Cup with USA, Brazil and Spain. Shelvin Chand, FBC Sports.
The Nandi Football Association hope to celebrate their Vodafone Fiji fact win this Saturday. The victory over Mba yesterday saw Nandi win a major football tournament after an 11-year drought. The Nandi FA says the $15,000 prize money will go straight to the players. Selvin Chand again.
Nandi last won a major title in 2002. It was the IDC. And prior to that, the Jet Set boys claimed 2 titles in 1996. Nandi Football believes it was the support that guided them to win.
I think so the boys did their wonders and the general public came. I think so the support was the key factor of our win. I think so the whole of Nandi was in favor of Nandi by winning. I think so the credit should go to the public of Nandi.
The prize money and a celebration involving all of Nandi is in store.
The whole money will be shared between the players, and we had a talk with Nandi Town Council today, and we're having a grand celebration, might be this Saturday, or we will plan it and do it in proper way.
Yesterday's hard-fought 3-1 win was well deserved. This was what the players had to say after the game.
I'm very happy. To all the Nandi fans, they have been waiting for this trophy for 11 years. This is for you.
Not only me, it's my teammates as well. They did the hard work in the field. We were down, but we'll never go out. We'll still strive for another win this coming tournament.
Very delighted. I want to thank the Lord for His protection. And I want to thank the fans, especially the fans for Nandi, for supporting us here.
An announcement regarding the FACT celebrations is likely to be made in the next day or so. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
The Maras Volleyball tournament will be held at the FMF Gymnasium in Laudala this week. It's expected to feature more teams than anticipated, and organizers were also pleased to announce that a top team from the Pacific region will also add some spice to the competition. Talin Daudakadaka with more.
6-time New Caledonia champions AS Legon are looking to exert their dominance in the country when they take to the courts this Friday. The team has played in numerous tournaments in New Zealand and Australia, but this will be their first time in Fiji.
We've been champion of New Caledonia for 6 times in a row, and last year we finished 4th, and this year we hope to win the championship again.
The team is not only looking to take on the best clubs in the country, but also experience some Fijian hospitality.
We have 2 aims. The first one is I wanted to bring my team here to meet people, to know how the Fijian people live, instead of coming here and play and go back. And I'm very happy to bring my team here.
Organizers have had to revise the tournament draws in order to accommodate teams that will be traveling from afar.
We've really gone out to try and accommodate all the teams that want to play. We have got participation of 5 teams from Wonolev and Tabiuni, and about 9 teams from the West. So this is really a national club championships with a regional taste to it.
A touch of Pacific rivalry is sure to add excitement to one of Fiji's biggest volleyball tournaments. Tsalendo Vakavaka, FBC Sports.
And that's it from Sports Tonight. Business is up next.
The Navutu Timber Yard in Lautoka and the Waivunu Sawmill in Serua will soon be advertised for sale by tender. Operations at the 2 sites cease from today due to massive financial losses sustained since 2004. Fiji Hardwood Corporation says the 2 sites were overpriced when they were purchased in 2004. The Navutu Yard cost $3.5 million and the Waivunu Sawmill cost $2.5 million. It says the combined losses for the 2 sites were well over $4.5 million per year for 2005 and 2006. The successful buyer will be encouraged to re-employ the 76 workers at Navutu Yard and the 111 workers at the Waivunu Sawmill. And our weather girl joins us now. Jen, looks like it was another rainy day in the capital.
You hit the nail on the head, Jackie. Yes, it was another day of clouds and showers for Suva and Savusavu with a few sunny intervals. The western side and Lambasa, however, had sunshine throughout the day. Imagine that, Savusavu with the same weather as Suva, while its neighbor Lambasa shares the same conditions with the west. Still on the subject of sharing, Nandi and Ba were both on 29 degrees today, with the Sugar City and Lambasa coming in at 30, the day's highest temperature. Tomorrow sees afternoon showers in the jet-set town, Levuka and Ba. It seems that Lambasa will be the only major center to have fine conditions all day. Mariners also keep in mind that seas will be rough with moderate southerly swells. And we wrap things up with another awesome photo, this time from Mommy Bay in Nandi. Vinaka Lawrence-Dale, I feel like I'm on holiday. And that was weather. Stay safe and stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. And the headlines again. Australian military aircraft makes emergency landing at Nandi Airport. Fiji soldiers make final preparations for deployment to the Golan Heights, and bus fire in the middle of busy Suva Street. Now for the results of last week's poll question, we asked, does Fiji football need new and young leadership? 91% of you said yes. For this week, we ask, does Fiji Sevens have the right combination for the Rugby World Cup? To take part, visit www.fbc.com.fj. Remember to send us newsworthy pictures and videos. Email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's your Monday night news. Join us again tomorrow at the same time. Until then, good night.
आपकी शादी होने वाली है। 5 बच्चे होंगे। 5 हाय, मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली वेनू। सुनते रहिए मिर्च एफएम। मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक।